Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're checking out a brand new VR game that I've been insanely hyped for. Vertigo 2 has been in development for years now, and that time has paid off. So I'll elaborate on that with a spoiler-free review, give you all the details on what makes this title so special, you'll get my overall verdict, game score, purchase recommendations, and finally some gameplay. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but let's start things off with the summary. Vertigo 2 is a half-like shooter available exclusively for PCVR, and you can pick it up on March 30th for $39.99. The half-like genre is of course named after the iconic Half-Life series that Vertigo 2 clearly takes inspiration from. What differentiates these shooters from titles we commonly see today is an emphasis on environmental storytelling, unexpected scripted moments that constantly keep the title engaging, and a lack of life regeneration, adding a bit of overall tension. This genre feels much more akin to a labor of love than the repetitive grindfest that have become commonplace today, and Vertigo 2 takes this to the next level, as there's something new and exciting to do on each of the game's 18 chapters. You could be the tail gunner of an aircraft, battle it out across a vast open sea, fight huge alien creatures in epic boss battles, or take sides in an ongoing war. This sheer amount of variety is rarely seen in video games these days, especially not in VR ones. It's also boasting an 18-level single-player campaign with an expected length of 8 to 12 hours. There's a large and unique array of weapons to unlock, which includes a Half-Life Alyx-style upgrade system that can add some truly unique perks to each gun. I personally love the pistol lock-on upgrade that reminds me of the smart gun from Titanfall. Now without revealing any spoilers, let's jump into the storyline of Vertigo 2. The original Vertigo had you unexpectedly traveling across dimensions into a top-secret research facility filled with alien creatures and secured by robotic personnel. Your efforts to escape failed, and in Vertigo 2 you find yourself thrown even deeper into the facility. The compound itself seems to defy normal physical limitations, as it's insanely large, housing multiple different ecosystems, sprawling mountains, and a vast ocean. As you can imagine, you'll encounter a large variety of creatures, including everything from your standard crab to cube-shaped heads and zombies with hand for heads, all the way to dinosaurs and religious god power-wielding robots. In one way, this game is very similar to the original Half-Life, as you attempt to escape this huge underground facility filled with alien creatures and security officers, but it also takes itself a lot less seriously, having a near Rick and Morty level of quirkiness. Now there's a deeper storyline and some additional subplots throughout Vertigo 2, but I'll let you experience those for yourself. What I'd rather focus on instead is what makes this game so special. Vertigo 2 pulls out all the stops. Not only are they giving you a fantastic 10+ hour single player campaign, but every moment delivers something exciting and unique. There's huge open environments, something we don't see very often in VR, an excellent balance of creepiness, humor, and challenging combat, and graphically, while not exactly Half-Life Alyx, it's still a top-notch looking game filled with countless Easter eggs that once again hammer home the fact that this is a labor of love. Taking things even further, at launch we are also getting native B haptic support, Pro Tube gun stock support, Valve Index full finger tracking, and a spectator cam with multiple different options. This game is a true testament to how all PCVR games should be developed, and as you guessed it, I highly recommend Vertigo 2. If you're a fan of Half-Life style shooters, or you're looking for something to show off how amazing PCVR can be, Vertigo 2 is an easy recommendation. While it's hard for me to assess motion sickness after 7 years of VR gaming, this title might be a little too intense for new VR gamers. While you can technically play through it in teleportation-only mode, there's also boat rides on choppy oceans, a high-speed rail segment, multiple flights, and a lot of fast-paced movement. So even though I didn't experience any motion sickness whatsoever, I won't expect that to be the case for everyone. If you want to test for yourself and see what this game's all about, there's currently a demo available on the Steam store, which should give you more than enough to know if this game is right for you. Now before we get into some gameplay, let's get the verdict and overall review score. Vertigo 2 is a top-notch VR game that reminds us just how good PCVR can be. Its lengthy campaign is filled with exotic creatures, locations, and weapons, and this title is clearly a labor of love that goes above and beyond. Any shooter fan should enjoy this, especially those with a love for the Half-Life series, and a Rick and Morty style alien quirkiness. It's a phenomenal combination of challenging combat, unique weapons and encounters, plus a few creepy moments. The pros include that absolutely fantastic campaign, a uniqueness you can't find anywhere else, and it's a labor of love with an extreme attention to detail. Now on the con side, this game might be a little bit too quirky for some people, and this title also makes other PCVR games look bad by comparison. Vertigo 2 scores a 9.1, placing it into the must-try category. But now let's jump into some spoiler-free gameplay so you guys get a taste of what this is all about. Vertigo 2 immediately sets the tone that it's quirky and inspired by classics like Half-Life, but it definitely has its own unique personality.
Possibly defining your entire journey here. Oh, what's that piece of junk doing here? Ridiculous. We wouldn't possibly have you fight deadly aliens in a high-tech facility using a crowbar. That would be absurd. Yeah, I look like a reactor security drone. Not to worry, fully rehabilitated. Brian captures us and reprograms us with stuff like free will, empathy, less stupid robotic voices. Promise, I won't shoot you. Look, Brian even installed safeties in my guns. Oh, shit! Correction, Brian said he installed safeties in my guns.
The storyline is absolutely bizarre, but still manages to rope you in.
I was wondering when you would show up. I was pursuing Cowboy. Entering this realm, I stumbled into the hypercube itself, millennia since its complete disappearance.
Combat is really intense from the beginning, and only gets crazier as the game goes on. Boss fights can be quite challenging, and you might have to learn some attack patterns in order to survive.
Oh, Jesus.
But it's not all about murdering enemies, as you will make some friends along the way. Good boy. No. Bye. No. No. No.
And that was today's video, brought to you by my dad, Mateo311. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here,
Consider subscribing.
consider
Consider subscribing.
consider subscribing.
Consider subscribing.
Consider subscribing.
We'll see you guys on next time.
We'll see you guys on next time.